Hey, welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go.
Hey, yeah! We are back. Not in the bunker. I'm in my van. Duddy's at home. We'll tell you all about it. It's episode 71 of Feelin Good with Duddy, the show that points at the world, laughs hysterically, and then points into the mirror and laughs at itself. We are the fairest of the fair. I'm Jake B., a barber here in Southern California. Let me introduce you to my brother, host of the show, guitar player, singer for the Dirty Heads. Here he is, Duddy B.
What is happening? That's right. We are back. Episode 71. We're zooming because Jake's going to go out of town for a few days. So we're zooming early, getting it done. So he's going to go do a quick little vacay. We wanted to make sure we had an episode. So yeah, I'm sitting in my bedroom.
Oh yeah, I can see you. Duddy's sitting in his bedroom with his dog behind him on his bed. It's a classy look.
I'll be honest, the dog goes wherever I go. It follows me like a shadow. If the dog is not next to me I'm like, where's the dog?
So when you're at home, she just follows you all over the house,
like
everywhere.
Like a freaking shadow. It is hilarious. But
she's freaking awesome.
She's the best.
Yeah, so Duddy's in his room. He just popped out of the shower. We're getting this episode going. I'm going out of town, back to the barber shop next week for me. So actually the day that you guys hear this episode will be my first day back in the barber shop. So the family were like, let's get out of town real quick before it all goes back to normal, right? No? Probably not.
Hopefully.
What's going? Hopefully.
Yes.
That's all that's going on with me. Nothing too crazy. What's going on with the Dirty Heads? You guys are about to actually play live music. What the hell?
Yeah, that's right. We were in the bunker yesterday, Jake. You were there. And we were getting some stuff ready. And Matty-O came in and he was setting up his full drum kit and everything. And it's like, oh my God, these acoustic shows that's just what we did. So
yeah, the live streams became your reality for a good 2-3 months. Yeah,
maybe even longer. And we did a lot of rehearsals with them too. So it was just sitting down, acoustic guitar. It was great. But now we're going to be standing up. I'm going to be playing an electric guitar plugged into an amp, and Mathews is going to be back there hitting the shit out of those drums. It is going to be loud, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. But yeah, not much new going on because we did just record those other episodes a few days ago. Like I said, we're zooming this one in early, but something did happen. Kids are going back to school, taking them to Barnes and Nobles to get some just books and things. And my son really likes to read. So it's funny. Like I have to constantly get him books because he reads. I'm like, bam, which is a good thing. But went to, which they love to go to. There's a cheesecake factory right next to this Barnes and Noble. So we go in there to get some lunch. And right now, you can only sit on the patio. So we're sitting out on the patio, having lunch. It's very quiet. There's other people around eating. And something happened, Jake.
Oh no, what happened?
Something happened. And,
like, where are you going with this? And now, okay.
This has happened. I've seen this many times, like this, and everybody has. But this time I was just like, it hit me. I was like, come on, people. Like, can we not do this anymore? And that was sitting outside, having a nice lunch, super quiet, lots of families around, lots of young kids around. And here comes the frickin', 1999 Kia rolling through with all the windows down. And it's,
oh no.
Boom, 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 pussy, motherfucking bitches, N-word, pussy, effort, boom, boom, boom. Like so loud, Jake. It was so ridiculous. And everybody's just looking at each other like, are you kidding me? And here's the best part. This is what happens next. So outside the parking lot, right, we can see like this he has to drive right by this patio, and there's some parking spots right out by the patio that say Cheesecake Factory, like to go pick up only, and there's like 3 spots. He fucking pulls right in. Boom, boom. Sits there for a second with his windows down, just bumping the F word and the N word. And then car turns off. He gets out. He's like a chubby, like white dude. And he's wearing a Buffalo Wild Wing uniform. And he walks into the Buffalo Wild Wing that's right there. And I'm just to go to work. Like, I'm just like, are you kidding me?
Oh, the shittiest asshole.
I skipped right past the whole thing, Jake. This was going to be a new segment that we have. This segment is called You Should Be Shot. And these are things that people do that you just see, like, you should just be shot. Right on the spot. You can't, like, if you...
Yeah, there's no saving that guy.
No.
How old did he look? How old was he in your mind? Hopefully 15. I'll accept 15. Anything above that, he should be shot.
I would say probably like early 30s.
Oh, God, it hurts. That's
like
a sad 30s, man.
Late 20s.
That's a sad...
white guy, like scruffy facial hair, like not a beard or mustache, just hadn't shaved in a bit. But he, the pale.
I know the guy.
Kind of damp looking, just pale,
damp,
just boom, boom, boom. Come on, bro.
Oh, dude, you're right. This guy should be shot. Dude, come on. And it's one thing to be blasting your music. That's already like, come on, please, dude. Blast it all day wherever you're at when you're in privacy, right? But don't.
If you're driving on the freeway, if you're just cruising and you want to blast, go ahead, man. I don't care what you listen to. I listen to music sometimes that I say the F word in music. I get it, but like, there's a time and place to be bumping it, and through the freaking outdoor mall, like in the middle of the afternoon with families around, and you're just by yourself in your car bumping. Just come grow up.
I love when the person who pops out of the car doesn't match, You're like, if it's some fucking slick buff dude with a killer jump, if it walks out of the car, you're like, okay, I get it. It all matches the guy. Yeah. Fine. But when just...
freaking like, Kevin Garnett jumped out of the car and be like,
yes,
I get it.
Like, can I have your autograph? You're the fucking coolest. This is perfect. But then when that dude hops out, you're like, oh, come on. And I've heard other people talk about this, and it always makes me laugh. I've gotten to these conversations where the guy doesn't match the car, like the super gnarly punk rock dude with the crazy mohawk and the stuff, and he gets out of like, the 92 Sentra with the fucking bumper hanging out. You're just kind of like, or the crazy rockabilly dude is probably more appropriate. The pompadour, the everything. Yes. It's all going on, but he's like, he's in a RAV4. Yeah. And you're just like, oh no, you don't match the car. Yeah, like your style is the thing, but you're supposed to have a 57 Chevy, right? Or something, or an old truck. You almost have to if you're going to do the whole rock and roll.
You can't have a new-aged Beetle with a flower.
Yeah. You can't be blasting hip-hop at full fucking 11 with N's and F's, the two fucking key phrases
just over and over.
And then Buffalo Wild Wing shirt, and you just look damp and pale. That's not... No.
He walked in. He's the guy that walked into the restaurant, and every other worker just went, what's his name? What's his name, Jake?
Oh, dude, his name's Robbie.
That's
nothing against even. I don't know why, but doesn't it?
It could be a
Rob is a dope name. I have a buddy, hey, what's up, Rob? And their name, but he's Robbie still. He's Robbie, dude. And he probably says I'm DJ Robbie because he did a wedding once. Oh, fucking hell! He should be shot. And
raps.
Of course,
raps,
of course he does.
Sure. You can check him out on SoundCloud.
He's been working on an album. Here's what he has. He has tattoos that aren't done yet, and an album that's not done yet. That's Robbie. Yeah, I've got an album that's coming out.
He's got a friend who has a cousin who knows Dre.
Yeah,
Dre's going to probably do his album. And
most likely. He likes it. Dre listened. He likes it. There's no promises yet, but it's been coming out this summer for 10 summers.
Yes.
He's been working at Buffalo Wild Wings that long. And he's also got like, a gnarly tattoo going down his arm that's not finished yet either. So everyone he shows it to, not done yet.
Yeah.
Like my album, but it'll get there. My name's Robbie. How you doing?
Yeah, well, he can't finish the tattoo right now because he's got a MMA fight this weekend, Jake.
Absolutely.
And, he trains.
He's always on the short list for an MMA fight. Like, yeah, I got to fight. I think I'm fighting at the Saboba Indian Gaming Casino, and I got a fight coming up potentially. Oh, it fell through. My opponent fucking got corona.
You know what? Corona's better than what I would have done to him.
Dude,
that lucky guy,
dude. This Corona's better for his lungs than what I would have put him through. Oh, fucking Robbie, dude.
I'm starting to love Robbie.
I actually like him, dude. He's a good friend. And you know what? It gives me free wings.
Dude,
so,
dude,
you should be shot is perfect. Robbie should be shot. And wait, you didn't say killed. Should be shot like in the leg, in the calf. The calf.
See, he could drive himself to the hospital to get the bullet taken out.
And dude, he wants to be shot.
With like
the best thing that could ever happen to him was he got shot.
Yeah.
He got shot. And now he'll make a tattoo about it that's never really quite finished around the bullet wound.
Are you kidding me?
It's just fodder for his album, dude.
Come on.
I've been shot in the calf, yo. Lick my ass, yo. I don't know. It's Robbie, dude. I don't know where he goes lyrically. I've been listening to a lot of Cardi B. Oh, that's my favorite new segment, Duddy. Robbie. Oh no.
I love it. All right, that is
sweaty.
You know what?
Mom spaghetti.
I love You Should Be Shot. My new favorite segment, and my new favorite person is Robbie. I think he's gonna have to be an ongoing character. We just invented a guy. His name's Robbie.
His name's Robbie.
The real dude. I don't know if his name is Robbie, but what we are describing is the guy I saw. And he went and he left his car. He left his car in the to-go Cheesecake Factory spot and went into work at Buffalo Wild Wings after bumping hundreds of F and N bombs in the parking lot of families with kids holding hands in the sun.
Yes. Dude, it's just like be a human. That's all we're saying with You Should Be Shot. It's like, dude, bump your shit and then turn it down when you come into the public. If you're smoking a cigarette, smoke your cigarette, but don't blow it into the face of babies. Just have a little fucking respect. That's all we're saying on You Should Be Shot. And everyone listening knows a Robbie. And now, how Karen... Oh, a Karen, a Robbie. We've just created it. Start the memes.
See it. Okay, guys, this is what I want from you. If you guys see a Robbie, I want you videotaping it. I want you posting it, tagging us in it, hashtagging fucking DJ Robbie or something, whatever. We'll come up with a hashtag. You get it.
And what does Robbie say every time he walks into Buffalo Wild Wings? What up, fam?
What up, fam?
Every time. So use that in the text below, whatever meme it is you make.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
The first thing that Robbie tells you too, he says, "What up, fam?" And then you say, "Hey, Robbie, how's it going?" And he goes, "Oh, so hungover.
Oh,
fucking fucked up last night, bro. Let you know." And then he gives you what? The list of how many.
The list.
I started off. Oh, dude. Yeah. And then he goes into I literally fucking joke. So yeah, he does everything we hate. Everything we've talked about hating, he does it.
Robbie ends up at the strip club at least once a week, too. We were at the strip club last night. And he thinks the strippers are into him. Oh, no. And they're like, ugh, Robbie, he's so sweaty.
The strippers make the same face when he walks in that his coworkers make at Buffalo, right? When he walks in, they go, Robbie's here. Okay.
He knows all their name. What up, Diamond? Dude, what up, Bambi? Hey, Mercedes. And they're like, and they hate him. They're like, ugh. And then they go, hey, Robbie. They have to because he gives them like barely enough money. Barely enough.
Like it's barely enough. It's $20 for a lap dance. He gives them $20. There's no tip. There's nothing. He always picks Freebird because it's a long song, and they're just like,
oh God. And they're like, we're not doing the solo this time, Robbie. It's 30 for the solo.
No, we can't. We don't have time.
And he's always like, what are you doing after this, baby? I'm going straight home and dying, Robbie. I'm going to die. Anything.
I'm going to go dip my head in chocolate.
I'm driving to Ireland. I got to go.
I'm going to see something. I got to go.
My favorite new character, dude. You Should Be Shot. Robbie is in the house. What up, fam? Holy shit, dude. Getting into it. And this is going to be a great episode, too. We actually have an interview coming up. This is already the fucking my favorite
we spent
episode.
30 minutes Robbie.
We did. And we have an interview today. We're professionals. We've talked about Uncle Peckerhead, a movie that you and I watched and we really loved. We have the writer and director is going to be calling us soon enough. We'll tell him all about Robbie. So he'll be on here. And we've got a conspiracy query, right? Q&A's coming up. All the shit that you love, even though I'm on vacation when you're listening to that, you got it. All the things you love is happening still. And we're going to get right into one of your favorite things ever. This is Feel Good News.
The world is bad. This is Feel Good News.
All right, dude, let's get into it. Little tweak on Feel Good News. We're going to just do news that makes Duddy and I feel good right now because we think it's funny. All right? And so this is a Dookie related episode right here. If we could get this article pulled up, we got Luke and Anthony working the other screens here on our Zoom. And
this is perfect, Jake, too. This is actually super perfect that we're doing. Not only is this poop related, which we know our listeners love, this is also the first week of we started our Patreon Feeling Good with Duddy fantasy football league. So this is also the football related news article, Jake. So this is great, perfect timing.
Yeah, I didn't even fucking put that together, but Duddy, you're a genius, and it is. And you guys have all been talking about this, right? This is the Odell Beckham likes to get pooped on story, right? So
well, who doesn't?
Look, he's not alone. He likes to get pooped on, right? So who was it? This chick, Keith Chief's baby mother, Slim Danger, exposes Odell Beckham Jr. for his alleged poop fetish. Yep. During an interview on the No Jumper podcast, she said that she was texted by Odell Beckham. She was going to meet up with him, and he asked her to wear no underwear and not shower for 24 hours. And then he asked her to send him a picture of her taking a shit. And she said, hell yeah, I sent him a video. And he wanted, she's down and she's not afraid to talk about it. We love her because she gives us this story. So she put it out there. Now everyone's talking about how OD likes to get pooped on. And this article coming to us from hot97.com is actually about Odell Beckham responding to these claims. And if you could scroll down just a little bit, Luke, Odell's little response is down here. And Duddy and I read it. I think it's up. I think you might have...
No, he's right here.
No, it's right there. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Luke.
He says, you can't knock me off my pivot no matter what shit's thrown my way.
Damn. So he put up a little Instagram post of him catching a pass. Yep. Can't knock me off my pivot no matter what shit is thrown my way. First of all, hilarious. I like that he just went at the shit thing.
He used the word shit.
And then he's got laughing to tears emoji and then the fire blowing out of his nose. I think burned you. Here I come. But what I love is he did not deny any of these claims.
No.
He's just saying, yeah. Whatever. He's like, dude, I like to get shit on.
Not illegal. He's like, whatever I do behind closed doors is what I do. Dude, I will say though, Jake, I learned a little fun fact. I noticed this fun fact after I heard this. His first game of the season is against the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, that couldn't be any better. I'm sure people are laughing at that. And by the time this video comes out, because I'm gone, so this is an early recording. This game has already been played, right?
Oh, that's right. This game
potentially. Oh man, that's funny. Hopefully he doesn't play like shit. All right.
Oh, hopefully. Well, he's an offensive player, and I hope he's not tackling the other team because they're Browns, and he's just like, "Oh no, you're on offense. Why are you tackling us? Oh no."
Oh, he's just tackling people for no reason. Dude, this is great though. You know what? He's a fucking legend. I love him for this because look, if he is into that, he's like, okay, fine, why not? And then also, what better way to deflect anything is just to accept it and go, yeah, I'm into shit stuff, dude. All right, bye. That completely ends the whole drama, I believe, right there.
Yeah. And then, you know what people would do? They go, all right, well, move along.
All right.
What do you say after that? You can't make fun of him. He's like, yeah, so?
Yeah, I like to shit. But you know who we can make fun of, Duddy?
Who?
It's the guy in our next story. Yeah, it's a fecal-related episode, right? So,
it is.
Odell Beckham likes to get pooped on, and we respect him for that. But we went to what? Now, this cracks me up because this is a real official source. We're on antsmarching.org, which is a Dave Mathews Band, sort of like subreddit type thing where people just put shit on there. Anyway, we've got a claim coming from a user that says, so Odell Beckham likes to get pooped on. We hear that Dave Mathews likes to poop on other people. And we have multiple stories that will corroborate this. First story is coming from, the name of this little entry here is Dave and Scat Play. I love that title. So it's a lady who said she was tailgating with her friend. I love this source. Tailgating with my friend's boss, who told me that his wife's best friend, which is good enough for Duddy and I.
Friend's boss's wife's best friend. Oh,
absolutely. Good enough for you and me
trustworthy.
To put it on our show and call it fact. Met Dave Mathews at a bar in Boston back in the late 90s. Oh, I love that. You're drinking. It's a billion years ago. This doesn't sound weird at all. We accept it and we believe it. They went back to his hotel room and Dave straight up asked her if he can take a shit on her. Says he claimed that he'd been with so many women that at this point, like, this is what gets him off these days. And that's why I love this story, is that she put that little thing in, because I've talked to people who are older than us. I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but Duddy, you could probably imagine maybe who I'm talking about, who's told me that, like, if he watches porn, he only watches porn of like 90-year-old ladies, because he said he's had so many sexual encounters in his life that that's what it takes to get him off at this point. I heard someone say those exact words to me. So when I read them here, I said, well, this is fact, or it's my friend who wrote this. But anyway, so Dave Mathews loves to shit on his fans and whoever he wants to have sex with. Duddy, how do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, at the same time, if he was like, yeah, that's what I like to do. And if the girl was like, sure, then go ahead, Dave, be a poo-poo guy if you want to. But when people don't know it's coming, Jake.
I know where you're going. This is the other Dave Mathews poop story.
And everyone, I think, knows. And if you don't, there is a story about Dave Mathews' bus was going. Can you pull that up there, Luke? Dave Mathews' tour bus. Now this... yes, this story is true. I do think this article is a little off on its numbers, but I'm going to read it anyway. It's because it's hilarious. Dave Mathews' tour bus dumped 800 pounds of poop on people taking a Chicago River cruise 15 years ago. So yes, his bus was going over a bridge, and what happens in the tour bus is if you're peeing in there, which you really should only be peeing in it, but I'm sure he had a nice tour bus, and I don't know. He was pooping.
Look, the rule is you're not supposed to ever take a shit on your tour bus because it makes it stink in there. We've talked about it, but we're thinking Dave Mathews is a big fucking star. Maybe he's got 5, but maybe he was like, I'm shitting in the bus.
I'm shitting in my bus. But his tour bus is just like a motorhome or something where it's like you got to dump. You've got to dump, and normally you go to a truck stop. You go to a truck stop and you dump. But what some bus drivers like to do is they'll just like find maybe if you're just out in the middle of nowhere, driving at 4 a.m, they'll just do it right as they're driving. But like on a highway out in the middle of nowhere, nobody around. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but if you're going to, that's the way to do it. Middle of nowhere, highway, 4 a.m. That's the right way to do that thing. Dave Mathews' bus decided to do it while they were going over a bridge midday in Chicago, and underneath that bridge was a river cruise, like sightseeing boat of tourists, I'm guessing mostly tourists.
Yes.
And they just got dumped upon. Now, this article says 800 pounds of poop. Okay, let's be honest. No fucking way there was 800 pounds of poop in the bus. Like, that's just
insane. Yeah.
That is so much poop. That's how much you poop in your entire life. When you die, the amount of poop that came out of you is 800. So
now, Duddy, think of some of the roadies, and now I don't know this. I don't know who's on this particular bus, but think of some of the people you've toured with. Now, does the 800 pounds of poop sound so unbelievable?
Yeah, actually, I can see 800 pounds.
Yeah, this could happen overnight if you're touring with the right people.
I don't want to be on a bus that has 800 pounds of poop in it.
Oh, sloshing around.
So I'm guessing most of it was pee, but there was definitely poop in it because I've heard this story before and I've read articles about it. There was definitely poo, but I'm guessing most of it was probably pee.
Yeah, and that blue stuff that's in there. But yeah, so this article, this story is absolutely real. Duddy and I have talked about it, I believe, on this show before. I mean, this is something everyone knows. This was big news. But last month, just about a month ago, was the anniversary, the 15-year anniversary. I love that we're celebrating the 15-year anniversary.
It's the anal-versary.
The anal-versary of the Dave Mathews shit dump.
Here's my question, though, because after you read the first article about Dave, about how he likes to poop on people, that gets him off.
Right.
My question is did the bus driver just do it, or was Dave up front shotgun going, do it?
Oh,
and right when that bus driver released and Dave just went, ah, it was like,
oh my God. I never thought about it this way, but you just, so that's gotta be it. He's like, now the only thing that can get him off is shitting on like 60 people at once.
Strangers. Unexpected strangers is his thing. That's his thing.
Hey, he's had a lot of sex. This is just what gets him off at this point.
I like to poop on 60 unexpected strangers. That's my thing.
As long as he admits it, we're good here.
We're good.
Oh, Duddy, this is the best show ever so far. Robbie, the shit story. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, you guys. Thank you for another edition of Feel Good News. We'll see you next time.
Join us next week for more goodness on Feel Good News.
All right. Show is cranking. We're feeling good, potentially great. Things are about to get greater because it's your favorite time of the show. It is Conspiracy Query. Duddy, what is that?
Okay, so this is a conspiracy query, Jacob.
I'm still confused after all these years.
This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a query. I'm asking you if you guys believe this. I didn't come up with this. I didn't make this up. I'm not saying I believe it or don't believe it. I'm just simply asking you if you believe it's conspiracy queries.
All right. I think I understand now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
If you believe in queries, then this is for you. Saved by the Bell was a vehicle for the Illuminati.
Oh, my God.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Turns out that the teen high school comedy Saved by the Bell was riddled with hidden messages endorsing Satanism. This website exposes the true intentions of the show's creators and its stars, as well as the hidden message in the theme tune, which we just pulled up a video on, where if you play the theme song to Saved by the Bell backwards, it talks all about how they just love Satan and they miss Satan and they need their Satan in their lives.
Wow. So this article doesn't really mention much of the other things that it's riddled with, but apparently if the theme song is played backwards, begging for Satan's return.
Begging for Satan's return. I'm sure there's a lot more evidence. We don't read too far into it, but we do want to know if you guys believe this, because let's see. Obviously, if you play the song backwards, it talks all about Satan, because we saw that the internet was just everything is true.
Here's the deal. That's weird, because I watched Saved by the Bell all the time growing up, and I don't feel like I worship Satan. I'd say a mild fan of his early work. Got a little artsy later on. Not for me, but it's fine. But this is what blows my mind. Why is it that all you have to do is play everything on earth backwards and it like immediately becomes a Satan thing? And how many words are words that we use every day that if simply said backwards are Satan worshiper.
Well, yeah, play anything backwards and it sounds like, and you're like,
exactly.
Oh God, it's Satan. And you're like, no, it's just being played backwards. So that sounds really, really weird because it's backwards.
Who's going around just listening to everything backwards? And wouldn't you have to get like the Saved by the Bell like on theme song on a record to even do that? How do you even possess?
No, not this day and age. You can.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, I'm being a little okay. All right, but maybe I'm the conspiracy theorist. But yeah, you're like, dude, everyone has GarageBand on their phone. I'm like, how could you even possibly hear something?
So
right,
in this picture though that we have right here, wow, Mr. Belding kind of looks a little. Oh man, it's pretty Satan-y.
God, I do remember the episode where Zach and AC Slater fought. It's my favorite episode because I did think it was a very well choreographed fight, especially for the time. I'm sure if I saw that episode now, I'd be like, oh my God. But I remember as a kid being like, that was an aggressive fight. Like that looked pretty realistic to me. But I don't remember any Satan-y stuff, but I do know that we talked about Satan last week with ALS being all hidden message to. Now we're doing Saved by the Bell, right? And Mr. Belding is on Saved by the Bell. Mr. Belding was also in a Dirty Heads music video.
That is right.
I'm just
he was in the
down.
video. He was in the video for our song Vacation. And guess what, Jake?
What?
If you play Vacation backwards, guess what it says?
What?
69.
69.
It's that 69 if you play that song. Okay, and on the 69th episode, we talked about the devil, so it's kind of like a Satan song.
You've been touched by Satan, is what's happened. You and the entire Dirty Heads band. I dig it, man. I don't know. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know if there's enough evidence. I mean, where did you get this information from? Let's credit the old source here.
The shortlist.com.
And it is a short article, too.
The article is very short, but I mean, I guess I'm just wondering, Jake, if you believe that the Saved by the Bell was really just a vehicle for the Illuminati to try to get people to be fans of the devil?
To be fans of the devil. I actually do. The way you said it, when you said it in that like high-pitched tone, it sounded more believable. So I think I am back on board, dude. Yeah. So you believe it? You kind of, you never let anyone know. That's your thing. You stay,
I don't know.
You simply present this to us. It's up to us to
I do know
believe
that if you play the song Vacation backwards, it says 69. I do know that.
Yeah. The song, actually, the original lyrics were 69, and, but then accidentally you guys played it backwards and said, okay, it's probably better.
It was probably a 69. So now we just play it backwards. It says 69.
So, dude, I hear, Tail, that you brought a second query to the table today. Is it such a bonus? Double
query, Jake. And this one is that the moon doesn't exist. Do you believe in this? I forgot I do that at the end. Okay.
So the moon doesn't exist. Tell me more.
It's not good looking at it night after night. The moon doesn't exist. It's a hologram put there by persons unknown, of course. Serial conspiracy theorist David Icke has a theory there. I think that's how you say that. Has a theory there. Wait, what?
David Icke.
He has a theory, and there are countless YouTubers keeping an eye out, one of whom has gone as far as looking at it regularly for a year. Wait,
yeah, this article's written. The words are spaced out pretty funkily. But
wait.
There's very little evidence being shared on this one.
There's YouTubers out there keeping an eye out. One who has gone as far as looking at it regularly for a year.
Wow. Yeah, kind of like everyone on Earth. Hi, how are you? The only thing YouTubers are keeping an eye on is YouTube, okay? And so
his thing is that every night he goes out there and looks at the moon for a bit. Like, and not even every night, just regularly. Every now and then I'm out there staring at that moon. And you know what? I think it's a hologram. And I believe him. He regularly looks at it.
Here, dude, I'll provide better evidence that it's a hologram right now. Firstly, I do not think that it is. Let's start there. Do not think that
Jake,
it is.
Jake, it's a YouTuber, and he regularly looks at the moon.
I know, and I understand what I'm up against. And look, I'm going to present my side of it. I don't expect to win this. The guy regularly gazes at the moon. I'm not standing here acting like I'm just a person who looks at the moon sometimes, not regularly. So sometimes when I look, every once in a while, the daytime, there's the moon. So someone left the projector on. I can believe that. There's idiots everywhere. I go to fast food 99% of the time, incorrect order. I don't care. I drive home, I eat whatever's in the bag. It's all shit, and I eat it. So I believe that. And then sometimes it's a half a moon. The asshole fell asleep, dude, in front of the projector. We're seeing, so there's better evidence right there for them. I guess I am a YouTuber technically, huh, Dud? We do have this show.
Yeah, and you look at the moon sometimes?
A lot. A lot. We'll say a lot.
Okay.
You know, because I do have a balcony at where I live, and we do keep the windows, so I can see the moon a lot. It's in the, so a lot. I look at the moon a lot, and sometimes in the daytime, I see the moon. So there you go. I've provided them. You're welcome. From one YouTuber to another. There's some evidence. Add it to your fucking bio. I don't know what you assholes do. I don't pretend. Woo! Duddy, have I convinced you? Listeners, anyone convinced?
Okay, so I guess I'm just wondering if you believe that the moon isn't existent. It's just a projector. And if it's half a moon, then it's because a guy fell asleep on it.
Whoo! Hey, it's up to the listeners. You guys are in your cars, you're at work, you're listening. I've provided evidence. There's also a YouTuber out there who's got his eye on it. So if you guys want to look deeper, find whoever that asshole is.
You know what I'm going to do tonight?
What's that?
I'm going to look at the fucking moon, Jake.
Give it a look-see, dude.
I'm going to have a pen and paper. I'm going to be taking notes. I'm going to be taking notes on that thing.
Today the moon looked weird. Lately the moon has looked weird because we're in Southern California. It's covered in fire. So the sun looks weird. The moon looks weird. The air looks weird.
Yeah, it's just like a weird gloom, brownie-ish gloom.
Yeah, the sun has been bright red for the last few days. It's just because there's soot in the air because half of our state is on fire. Yes, it is. But you know who else is on fire? Our next guest. That's right. We have a guest. I alluded to it earlier. We reached out to the writer-director, Mathew J. Lawrence, and we told him we loved the movie. We asked him if he'd be on the show. He was awesome enough to join us all the way from, I believe you said Brooklyn, or you're in the Bronx? Where?
No, Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn, New York. Here he is, writer-director of Uncle Peckerhead, Mathew J. Lawrence. Welcome to the show.
Guys, thank you so much for having me. Great to be here.
Heck yeah. And funny thing is, before we get started, you're not the first Matt Lawrence we've had on the show.
Have you had Joey Lawrence's brother, Matthew Lawrence? Or is there another Matthew?
There's another Matthew Lawrence. He was the Dirty Head sound guy for many years, a good friend of mine. And he a few years back didn't want to, be on the road anymore. So he wasn't working with us. But I mean, I'm 10 years he worked with us, and he was a great friend. His name is Mathew Lawrence. Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah, I mean, I belong to a Facebook group of Matthew Lawrences, so I'm sure we've crossed paths at least via the virtual world.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it is.
No.
Oh, I love that.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. I hope. Jake Bushnell. I've looked. I've only found 2 other ones. But Matt Lawrence. I can imagine there's quite a few.
Yeah, a bunch of waspy dudes just rolling deep across the
Dude, I got to hit up the other Matt Lawrence and tell him he's got to join that fucking group.
Yeah, I'll send him an invite.
Perfect.
That is too much.
Uncle Peckerhead, what a killer movie. We've talked about it on the show. It's a movie about a punk band in New Jersey, right? I believe it's set in New Jersey. punk band in New Jersey that wants to play a big local show, but they need to get some shows under their belt before the local promoter will allow them to play the big local showcase. So they set up a little tour. Their van gets repossessed. They need a van. They find a van and they find a driver, a man named Peckerhead, to take them on their tour. And if that was that's enough for me right there. If that was just the movie, I would still be like, this sounds great. This band needs to get on tour. They need a van. They find an almost homeless drifter guy that says he'll drive them in his van. But then you add the element that every night for 13 minutes, he turns into something like a demon almost and murders people. And the movie becomes even more fun. First of all, like, I want to know how the idea came about. Was it you and your friends talking one night and this happened, or how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, I mean, really the idea came from a bunch of projects that were in various stages of development. And by development, I mean just like a notebook that I had. And like what had happened was I had always wanted to, like in my 20s, I had like released a record and toured with the band for a couple of years. And all of my friends, like Jeff, who's in the movie, who wrote the music of Duh, he's like a touring musician. And a bunch of our friends are. And I wanted to really kind of show the real world of being a DIY punk band in in those early years of what that's like. Because I feel that like films romanticize the open road for a band. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make that movie, and then I'd been really like pitching hard to do this Adult Swim series that was like kind of modeled after a 90s sitcom of these three punk kids living in this house that were in a band, and just like there's no explanation, but they live with this like dirty hillbilly drifter dude who acts as kind of this Mr. Belvedere that gives this sage-like advice at the end of every episode, to kind of wrap things up. And I'd been making horror movies, and I had gone to like a bunch of festivals, and all of the films were really self-serious and like just like not that there's anything wrong with the dramatic horror movie, but there was no like midnight batshit crazy fun movie. And like one night I was like with my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and I was just like getting like more and more drunk, and I'm like, I have to like just take all these ideas and just like somehow cram them together. And then like really like the next day I started writing Uncle Peckerhead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking great. That makes sense. You had several projects that leaned, and then in a drunken stupor, which is like what I imagined. I almost imagined you sitting around with friends or your wife and talking shit, and you're thinking about a movie, and then somehow you stumble on the idea of like, what if we make him turn into a fucking demon at night? Like, I don't know. It's just such a fun thing. But you touched, Duddy, and you touched on the perfect thing that makes this movie what it is. You nail the super like low budget indie band first tour where there's just no one in the crowd. The band you're on tour with, which we'll get to that. Dude, the singer of Dominion Rising is the fucking greatest character that's ever lived in cinema history. We'll get to him. But
I think since Jake dyed his hair blonde, he kind of looks.
I told Duddy, I go, I should fucking do the thing. I'm going to be him for Halloween, by the way. And I've watched the scene with his band performing their song 75,000 times. I know all the words. But anyway, I'll get back to you nail the feeling of you're in a band. It's your first tour. There's really next to no one at the shows, but you're playing your ass off, because you love it. And I've played a million shows like that. Duddy has played a hilarious show that we've talked about on this show before that he'll tell you about. But you fucking nailed the heart of that. So I can tell that you were in a band, you can just tell that it's all real.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and again, like I think TV and film, like really, and even books kind of romanticize it where either you're thinking that it's going to be just this nonstop adventure of like your youth, and or like The Dirt, where it's just going to be like this crazy, like we're just going to party every night, and there's going to be like, just like it's going to be a nonstop, like debaucherous, like adventure. And in reality, you're like fucking bored 23 hours a day. And then like the other hour, you're like dealing with a like insufferable prick for a sound guy and like getting paid. I mean, I don't want to give away but it's like, you like when you get paid $3 to play a show, you're like, why pay us? Why not just say fuck off and just allow us to be like fully angry, just to like harness that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is, what was crazy is like when I would tell those stories, like all of my friends had the exact same sound guy, the exact same promoter. And you didn't play the same town. Those people just exist in every.
Oh, that's And they still exist to this day.
No doubt.
Dude,
yeah.
We talked about this on the show the other week. It's like every sports reporter talks like this, and every fucking rock and roll DJ guy sounds like, it's like every fucking one. And it's true. Every club you go into, you get the sound guy that's too cool for your band. You're like, why? We're just here, you know, and you nail the promoter at the beginning.
He used to go on tour with some band that you've never heard of.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. I used to go on tour with Death Angel and fucking it was
yeah, dude. Everyone, even the people at the shows are perfect. Like in that scene where Dominion Rising's playing, you do a couple shots where you're like behind the singer and you get shots of the faces of the people in the crowd. I'm like, I've played to every one of those people. I mean, everything's there. So that's what Duddy and I loved. And Duddy has a show that I always love to talk about, you know, because the Dirty Heads, they'll play. I went on tour with them last summer, you know, for fun. And they were playing to 15,000 people at some shows. And I'm just looking out going, Jesus. Because I remember on one of Duddy's first tours when they were on a tour and it was this cool thing. This is, you know, 10, 12 years ago. He's like, hey, the venue we're playing at tonight live streams all their shows. So me and my mom and my dad, we all log on to watch Duddy. And
this was at least 10 years ago, if not more. So back then it was kind of like, whoa, this is
the live stream. Yeah, it was pretty good. But Duddy,
so
I mean,
thankfully the live stream, it only showed the stage. You could not see the crowd, and thankfully because there was not a crowd. And there was 3 people that showed up, and they came together, and they did not come because we were playing. They just came. But here was the crew. This crew was amazing. So first off, it was a little person. All three were girls. It was like one was a little person who was hammered when she showed up. The other one was a big, she was huge pregnant girl who was smoking and drinking. And then the other one was like an 80-pound meth head chick, you know, all 3 smoking and drinking their asses off. So that was the crew that came in. And as we're playing, they're sitting on stools now at the bar. So the only people there are the bartender, these 3, just tens, you know, just roll in. And then the band that we're on tour with is backstage. We're just laughing. We're like, okay, we're going to go play now. So we're playing the show, and the little person gets so hammered during our set, she falls backwards off her stool.
Oh my God.
And she's laying on the ground like a turtle upside down, and she can't get up. And I just remember like the bartender trying to help her up, and she's screaming, "Stop touching me. You're just trying to F me," you know, just like, oh my God, we were just like, we've made it.
And I mean, and the funny thing is at this point, like you guys had a little bit of local radio love and everything too. It was crazy. And from the angle that I was watching, you could see that there was no one there. But I remember calling Duddy and, well, how was the show or whatever? He's like, there was a midget, a pregnant lady, and oops, I said midget. I'm a bad, horrible person. But you get it, dude. And now the shows in this movie aren't quite that bad because it is a punk rock and a hardcore scene, and so the fans are there for music, but the look on their face when Dominion Rising performs, who is the band that so the main band in this movie is a band called and it's awesome. They've got Judy as the singer, Max is it's kind of the second singer and bass player. Judy plays guitar and sings, right? Max plays bass and sings, and then Mel on drums. It's a perfect band. You believe that they're a band. They look like they would be friends. They talk like they would be friends. And I really love the subtle just look on Mel's face the entire movie. Like her eyes, she's like the drummer chick. She doesn't say as much, but she has a look on her face that's just like, I could be doing anything else on earth. I kind of don't give a fuck. And I love it because I've known 5 or 6 chicks like her, and they're always hilarious. So everyone in the band is perfect and is someone that you know. If you're anyone like Duddy or I or you, Matt, we've all grown up with these fucking people. We've all seen this band. The cool thing about is when they finally perform, they're fucking awesome.
That first time that they start to scream, and wow, you're just like, oh, fuck yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, you do a good job of like, you know, we get to know the character. First of all, you let everyone know it's a horror movie right out the gates with like the opening kind of scene, which is cool because then you move away from it being a horror and we get to know the band, and then we love them, and then you finally get to hear them play. And it's worth it. If they sucked, you know, it might be like, okay, but they're so dope and the song is great. And I know Max, it's Jeff Riddle is who plays Max, right?
Yeah.
And he wrote all the music.
He did. He wrote all the music for Duh. He's been in like a bunch of bands. Like he was in the Holy Mess, which was like a big Philly punk band that like toured like nationally and internationally. And now he's in this amazing band, $500. But he's been like a buddy of mine for like over a decade, and we've like worked on a bunch of shit together. So yeah.
So he rips. So I think once you get to that point in the movie, you know, you like the characters, you like where the movie's headed. But then when you hear the music, it's like, okay, the music rips too. So that's even better. And then you bring in the element of horror, and it's almost just a bonus. And the beauty is the guy, Uncle Peckerhead. So this is David. I want to say, is it David like Lighton? How do you say his name?
Littleton.
Littleton. Okay. Yeah. David Littleton. He's the old guy that's sort of a drifter, that this is his van. And he says, I'll take you guys on tour, but I need to drive. Just give me gas money. The cool thing with him is, yes, he turns into a horrifying creature at night. And sure, he might be murdering someone. You know, that's just what's going to happen. But he also, when he's not doing that, you totally believe that he loves the band, because once he hears them play, you see him like kind of go, like, oh, these guys rip. And then he's got like a heart to him. You like him. And I don't feel like the band, you know, I don't feel like it's ridiculous that they're like, let's keep doing this tour.
Yeah.
Something about his performance, he does a great job of making you really like him. He's a ferocious beast.
You love him for sure. You're like, I freaking love this guy. And he reminds me so much of the young band on tour, and the one person that's not in the band that's on tour with them is just their best bud, who's like, I'll fucking do anything for you guys. I'll drive you guys. I'll sell your merch. I don't give a shit. And he's that guy. And you feel that, you know, during it, you're like, I know this guy. I've had this guy on tour with me before. You know, he's just down to do whatever it takes to help the band out, even if it's murder someone.
Yeah, I mean, and David is such kind of a charismatic, person, both, you know, behind and in front of the camera, that like you guys kind of put it perfectly. But I always saw kind of the group as kind of like a fucked up like nuclear family, because you have Judy, who kind of plays the mom, and she's like the type A, like let's just, has her shit together, like has a goal in mind, and like kind of like steers the ship. But then you have like Mel, who's kind of the angsty teen. You have Max, who's the precocious little kind of like awkward like little boy, and then you kind of have the fun uncle, you know, who at these family gatherings probably drinks a little too much, probably plays a little too rough with the kids, maybe you know, shows them how to shoot a gun or something like that. And he means well, and he does a lot of damage, and he has a lot of damage himself. But you know, like it's this idea that they're all really they all kind of found each other, and like, you know, had this need to kind of connect with people. And Peck kind of sees that in them, and kind of wants to be kind of this unofficial member of the band. But yeah, I mean, that was like always kind of the point is just, you know, it is this kind of familial kind of setting. And it's not the traditional way in which maybe you see family, but all of those kind of themes are there. And that's why like Peck kind of, you know, is in like Flynn with them.
Yeah, and you do it super fast. It's like they meet him, they do not know him, they go on the tour, they still don't know him, you know? And we're not giving away too much, by the way. We just want everyone listening to watch it. You guys, all of our listeners, so watch it. We're not going to give away too much, but we're just letting you guys know that the relationships, they're built correctly and they're built quickly. Like how do they, you know, that was a tough thing for you to have to do. They meet him, they don't know him. He doesn't seem overwhelmingly trustworthy at the start or whatever. And they do trust him. They go with him. And then they realize that he can be horrifying. And he kind of calms them down the next day enough that they're willing to still go on tour with him. And as a touring band, I can attest to that in a way too, because when you're a band that's just trying to make it and you love your music so much and you want to go on tour, you will allow a lot of horrifying things to take place, and you will still go on that tour. Like, let's say your driver could turn into a psycho demon. We can make that equivalent to like your van, the engine could blow up at any second, but guess what? We're still going to drive 450 miles tonight to get to the next show because you're in a band. You just keep going even though horrifying shit looms everywhere.
And it's so funny how many people like in bands like you guys, or how many people that have had that experience have like told me, I wish I had a Peckerhead. I mean, I wish I had somebody to dispense of every prick I've encountered or every dangerous situation I've had on the road. Because I mean, I like, you know, it's just this idea that, especially I remember like how at times it was kind of scary or just like wildly unpleasant and you're just like, I wish I had some type of like eject button. I had some type of like break glass, like when in danger, break this glass, like that type of thing. And I think like the odd thing is like, you know, the real ones know if you've been in that situation, you do want a Peckerhead at times.
Dude, and Duddy's had Matt Lawrence, by the way, our other Matt Lawrence. He was a bit of a Peckerhead.
He was.
You do not. I've seen him pop up to defend the band multiple times. And Duddy had a Christian Brandemeyer this is another good friend of ours that used to tour manage for the Dirty Heads. You don't fuck with him either. So Duddy's been lucky to have a couple Peckerhead-ish dudes that will dispense danger.
Yeah.
But I love that element of like, they could have quit that tour at any moment when they find out that their driver's a murderous creature, but you can't quit the tour. There's shows to be played.
You have a show. You got a show.
So the whole thing's believable. I'm like watching it. I'm going, like sorry guys, I didn't mean to murder someone. You're like, all right, don't do it again, Uncle Peckerhead. We got a fucking show. So everything's great. The band relationship, you believe Uncle Peckerhead. It's all perfect. And that's good enough for me. And you bring in the simply greatest character in my life right now, which is, what's his name again? This is the singer of Dominion Rising, who is the other band that is on tour with Duh.
Yeah, so his name's Shiloh, and he's actually played by my best friend that I've known since I was at least like 15, 20 years. And it's crazy. And that's a character that I've always wanted to bring into a movie, because that's a character that like he and we would do skits I used to live in Boston. We would do skits together, and he would just be this he is like so amazing. Ryan has such his name's Ryan Conrath. He knows how to zero in on that type of that haircut, that person.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. That band is just
unreal.
You hate them immediately. You hate them so much that you love them.
Oh, you love it. So the character we're talking about, he's the singer of the other band that's on tour with Duh, and he's the guy. We've all met this guy. If you've been in a band, you've been on tour with the dude who's in the band that's the same size as your band. Maybe they have 3 fans more than your band, but in their mind, the whole tour's about them, and his songs are the deepest songs that have ever been written. And he is immediately, like Duddy said, you hate him immediately, but also I wanted him to be in more. I was like, I can't get enough of this guy. He's basically got 3 really great scenes, when they meet him, and then the next day there's a little altercation with him, and then there's the musical performance of his band, Dominion Rising, which I filmed it. This is so funny. I have a video on my Instagram, like 5 videos back. It is the musical performance of Dominion Rising. And the volume is so low on it because my 1-year-old son was sleeping in the next room. My wife and I are in the living room laughing like at a whisper, so hysterically that we rewound the scene 15 times. And then I tried to film it all quietly. So if anyone wants to watch the scene I'm talking about, it's on my Instagram. I illegally fucking posted it on there. It's one of the best, most truest, most realist musical douchebag performances ever. I love the song. I know every lyric. I won't waste your time with it. I've performed it to my wife every day since I've watched the movie. And there's little key elements in this scene that I love. First of all, what he's wearing, all the obvious stuff, what he's wearing, how he's dancing, the song itself. But the beauty is how serious the band is taking this song behind him. They're all looking down, they're shoegazing, they're playing the hardcore notes, dude. And then you use this clip that is so genius. You show his bare feet for 2 seconds, and I'm like, oh, that seals it. Oh, we all know that asshole. He can't perform on stage with any footwear of any kind because it takes him away, Oh, and I'm just like, you're nailing it. And then you do this over-the-shoulder shot from behind him that reveals the looks on the faces of the 7 people that are there. And everything in that scene is perfect. And then I have to ask you this. There's the backup vocalist. What does he say? I cannot figure out that lyric. It's the only thing.
Oh, it's so perfect.
Do I have to hit up Jeff to ask him what the hell's the lyric right there?
No, I actually wrote the lyrics to that song. And
my God, the lyrics are amazing.
So it's I'll tell you what the lyrics are, but basically like, you know, having grown up and played during the era of like early 2000 emo music. Not that there's anything wrong with some of those bands, but you know, it basically like they would have a fishbowl and there'd be like, you know, a bunch of different like phrases or nouns, right? So they'd pick something out and be like razor blades, and then it'd be like blackbird. Right? But the chorus is fly, escape emptiness, die, become nothingness.
I love that because I thought he was saying die both times. So fly, escape nothingness, escape nothingness,
escape emptiness, and then become nothingness.
Escape emptiness. The guitar players. And I love
that's it. Jeff's voice though. He's the one that sings the backup vocalist. Yeah.
So solid. So your words cut like suicide razor blades. Let's say your heart black as the crow in the midnight sky.
You guys are making my day. Yeah,
dude.
This like made my, because like, you know, this would be just shit Jeff and I would like laugh. Like we recorded that, just like he demoed it. And we were just like could not breathe laughing because we would just like sing that together. And it's amazing that people actually like love the lyrics, because I agonized to write shit like that.
Our band did in, I think it was 2008 or 9 or something. We did Warped Tour.
Oh my God!
I heard that for an entire summer. Exactly that band. When that performance started, I was just like, "Oh my! This is every band I was on Warped Tour with. Holy shit!"
But again, like Duh, right? The music of Duh, it rips. The songs rip, and it seals the deal for them. I also feel that way about like Dominion Rising. Like, yes, it's corny, yes, it's cliche, but that song is dope, and the riff at the end, and even the way you dressed the drummer. And is this on purpose? Because he looks like he shouldn't be in the band, but they needed a drummer. He looks like he's probably more into a Nickelback-y zone, but they needed a drummer, and he can do it. And even that, I was like, I've seen that drummer. He's got the necklace that's tight, the shirt that doesn't make sense, but he's in the band. Oh God, you nailed it.
It's amazing that even the drummer is like my little brother's best friend since grade school.
So
that like, just like, you know how to play some drum beats, right? Like, get behind the drums. Do it.
I love it.
Oh my God, that's so amazing. And like, I mean, the thing that Jeff and I, and again, like, this is totally Jeff and Bill Orender, who actually played the drums on all of the music. Like, we pre-recorded all the music. Is they kind of defined Dominion Rising as like, when you listen to actually the music, you're like, oh, okay, this kind of rips, and then and then the haircut takes the microphone. And it's all downhill. Yeah.
Oh, you fucking couldn't have done it any better. But it is the performance of your friend. So let's give Shiloh one more plug. What's his name? That's your best friend?
His name's Ryan Conrath. Yeah, and he's like a PhD professor. Like he only acts in my movies, and like he just like, I'll be like, hey, come up to like Philly or come up to New York, let's do a skit, and he's just like always game to get like fucking weird and create these outlandish crazy characters. Yeah.
Oh, dude, he's the best. I will be dressing as him for Halloween.
You must post, you must share, you must
know what we're gonna do?
It's happening, dude. Yes.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna dress like him, and we're gonna recreate that performance and record it.
Oh my God! I mean, I could try. I will try.
I get to do the backups. I get to do the.
Oh yes!
Please do it.
Okay, it's happening, dude.
I will sponsor that if that's
dude, it's on. Dude, oh my God! I mean, it's like I want to talk to you forever, but because I want to talk about all the other things. I don't want to spoil the movie. I think we've set it up.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much more into it because I know that a lot of people are going to go watch this for sure.
I hope. They better.
I mean, like honestly, and I know I touched on it a little before but it blows my mind, you know, because like when we were doing it, we were like really a scrappy DIY. We were like, you know, like there were like 12 of us on crew at most on any given day. And it's basically like just your friends, you know, you're calling on every favor, you're begging, borrowing, stealing everything. And the fact that like like just hearing you guys like geek out about the movie, like something that like, you know, you and all your friends kind of agonized over for a couple of years, and people are like, dude, I fucking loved it. Like, it makes like every time you suffered through, you know, like I'm sure you guys know, like every bad show when you play that, or some kids come up to you afterwards and they're like, dude, like you're fucking, like that song like fucking blows my brain up. It like every bad show, every bad moment, every fight, or every like shitty promote or whatever it is, it just disappears. It just like floats into the ether, and you're just like, yeah, you're swimming. Yeah. So great.
Man. That's awesome.
Dude, we're stoked, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how we felt watching it. Dude, it feels good because, you know, it's hard to find movies you love anymore. And, you know, there's the big budget movies, and sometimes you're stoked. A lot of times you're bummed. So when you just stumble across this awesome thing that nails it, man, it just organically happened. Like Duddy said earlier, he saw the preview, told me about it. I watched it and then said, Duddy, you've got to watch it. It's everything that the preview suggests it is. It's fucking great. And we both love it a lot. Are you ever out here on the West Coast?
I'm hoping. Yeah, I mean, like I haven't been out obviously since COVID, but my wife actually like lives part time in San Francisco. Because she works in Silicon Valley, so she works remotely here, which she's been able to do. But yeah, I'm like, and especially like I have a ton of friends in LA, so like I always try and like at least like every other trip when I'm out there to make it down to like, you know, further south. But yeah, I mean, I would love to fucking come out west. Like we're dying to get back, you know, somewhere outside of this fucking apartment. Yeah.
I know. I guess it's a weird time to ask anyone, hey, you coming out anywhere? It's like, no, not really. No, I'm not. Yeah. But I mean, I would love to keep the relationship alive because I can't wait. Do you have any movies on the horizon? Anything coming up? Like what can we look for?
Yeah, I mean, like, so in reality, like even before making this movie, I had Duh in like, there's a Duh universe where I have a bunch of like, I have like one script like ready to go, like basically like all drafted out, ready to go, called Larry Gone Demon about Duh. And it's like a lot of the same characters, same world. That's one that like we've been trying to get off the ground, that who knows, like summer 2021, if things calm down, maybe not. But also I even have like, you know, a really solid treatment for Uncle Peckerhead too, because I really wanted to continue that story. Nice. So there's like a bunch of projects like that we're trying to get off the ground. And it's just, you know, it's both, we're still like a DIY scrappy operation. So we're not fielding a lot of calls yet. But it's also like everyone, even like when people show a cursory interest, like they're like, well, let's see where the spring is with all of us. And then we'll kind of like, so yeah, I mean, it's just basically like just developing and kind of talking, making sure you have the people that you want on your side and like with you once you start kind of like seriously kind of going forward. But yeah, we're hoping that, you know, before 2022 that we have something in the can.
I love it. Uncle Peckerhead 2 would be great. I like the idea of a Duh universe. That's kind of funny. They're like you could do anything with that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like band types that I wanted to kind of. I tried like packing it in the first one, and then I kind of cut stuff out because I'm like, there's just too much. But yeah, I'm dying to like kind of have that world expanded in like crazy ways.
I love it. That's fucking great.
Yeah.
I guess I want to just keep in contact with you. And if you're ever out here, or if Duddy's band goes out there and we can get you to a show, or you can hang out with Duddy, and hopefully I could be out there, but let's just keep in contact. And dude, thank you. I mean, we love the movie. So thank you so much for entertaining us. I'm going to watch it again, but I'm going to watch it 100 more times.
Yeah, I mean, sincerely, I mean, really, like if you guys are ever out here, you got to let me know. And absolutely, I'll let you know about the West Coast. But it really does. I mean, sincerely, I wanted to thank you both because it means so much that you guys took the time to like hang out and talk, and especially like giving a shout out to the movie means so much for us. So I really, sincerely, thank you so much.
Thank you, Matt, man.
We love it. So everyone listening, it's a great independent movie. You know, we love, why not support independent filmmakers or musicians, anything. It's super good quality. Everybody go watch Uncle Peckerhead, and then we'll have a discussion about it on the show. That way you guys will get the inside jokes that Duddy and I will be saying in the future that involve the movie. And thank you so much, Matthew J. Lawrence. Is there anywhere, do you want people to follow you? Is there anything? Should we just say go to Uncle Peckerhead on Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, you can go on to Instagram to Uncle Peckerhead, or if you just go to unclepeckerhead.com, you can read about some of the projects we have lined up. You can see like all of like the social media handles are there. That's kind of like a good landing pad for everything involving the movie.
Perfect.
Cool.
Perfect. Thank you so much, dude. Have a great one, and say hey to everyone in the movie for us, and we loved it.
No doubt. They're going to lose their minds. All right, guys, take it easy.
Later, dude.
Thanks.
Wow, that was really cool. You know what, Jake? Whenever I watch a movie, really like the movie, and then get to do an interview with the writer and director, it kind of makes me feel good.
Oh, sure.
Wouldn't it? So, yeah.
Good?
Good?
Do you believe it?
Do you believe that it makes you feel good? Speaking of feeling good, we have some sponsors on this show, and they make us feel great. And Koi CBD, we love this product so much. I use it every single day. You know, in the morning, I take the drops, one of the first things I do, and it just starts off my day perfectly. And I use the rubs, the balms a lot when I get the aches and pains in my wrists and in my joints. But now I've been using, they have a new like roll on, kind of like an icy hot vibe, but with a bunch of CBD in it. Ooh, it is very nice. I love it on my lower back.
Yeah, well, we would all love to love it because you did say that you had some of those that you were going to bring to us, and you did not. So I like to think that you're at home with every one of your family members, each with one of our roll-ons, and just rolling your back out.
You know what I did, Jake? I brought you and Luke each one yesterday and forgot to give them to you. That is exactly what I did. I had them in my car for you guys, never gave them to you.
That's the best thing ever.
I will give them to you next time I see you. But honestly, if you're out there and you've got aches and pains and you've been taking like a lot of over-the-counter pain meds, give CBD a try and give Koi CBD a try because it is the best. You're going to love how it makes you feel, and it's so much healthier for you. So give it a try, koicbd.com, and use code FEELGOOD at checkout, and you will get 15% off your first order. Blammo. And also plug-ins keychains. This is such an awesome product. I don't have one here with me today, but what it is it's like a replica of a guitar amp, like a guitar amp head. And it's a keychain holder. So you got your keys and you put the keychain on, and it resembles a 1/4-inch cable that you would plug a guitar in or plug in to your amp. So when you get home, you plug in your keys into the amp head, and there's your keys. You know where they're at. When you're going to go somewhere, you unplug them. Boom. It's really cool. And I've had one on my wall in my house for like 2 years. And every time someone comes in, I swear, they're like, whoa, that thing's really cool. What is that? And I tell them. And then they probably get one.
Here's the deal. Do you lose your keys? Do you like guitars? There's nothing else that's more specifically made for you than this. Right, yes. Duddy?
It's true. And it's an amazing gift for anybody who plays guitar or whatever. It's an awesome gift for people. They're going to love it. And if you want to get one, you can go to pluginskeychains.com, and that's plugins with a Z. That's PLUGINZ keychains.com, and the product is called the Jack Rack. And if you want one, you can also put in code DuddyB at checkout, and you will get 20% off every order.
Yes.
You heard it here, people. What are you doing?
Jack Rack is, sorry. I'm in the back of the van, everybody. Yeah. Like, this is the parking spot. I'm actually like putting the pipe away.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also want to say that like the Jack Rack, don't get it confused because there's another Jack Rack. That's where people, they use their sock after they jerk and then they throw it on. That's a different Jack Rack. This one is for your keys. All right, Dud. I'm glad I got to say that.
Yeah.
Show.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Is it time?
Oh, it's time, isn't it? Hit the fucking song.
Questions. Woo-hoo-hoo. Ask us any question you want.
Yeah, and we're back. The questions. Woo-hoo. Yep, we got some questions here. Duddy B, take it away, bub.
Sarah Rooney has a question, and this one I'm going to throw in with Travis Yoder's question because he asked something somewhat similar. Sarah wants to know, what's the most awkward, strange, or cool gift you've been given by a fan? And Travis asked a similar question, but he wanted to know if we actually kept the gifts that we were given by fans, because his, I don't have his up, but I believe he said that his son drew us a picture and gave it to us at a meet and greet. Yeah, we keep all of those things actually, and they're in like a big box, like a huge box. We always keep them. We put them all on the bus. You know, they all go like in the back of the bus somewhere throughout the tour, and then at the end of the tour, they always end up in this big box we have in the warehouse. And Cheese actually has a huge box at his house with a lot of stuff from fans as well.
That's right. Cheese usually feeds the geese onto all of it, though. So
yeah, that's how he gets off now.
Yeah.
What's the most awkward, strange, or cool gift you've been given by a fan? Oh man, I don't know. We've been given a lot of
weird shit,
a lot of weird, cool stuff. But you know what? Meet and greet, this guy bring me. He had made me. It was kind of like a cornhole, but it had grass on it, fake grass, and holes for golf balls. And he had made it. And it would have like a Cutlass logo on it, and like a little California like logo. Like it was really cool, and you could tell he put a lot of like time and thought into it. So I don't know. That was probably one of the cooler things, because it was just it was like holy shit. And he brought them; they were huge, and he was carrying them in line for the meet and greet. So that was pretty rad. Let's say Patrick Lynch says, Jake, are you still running? And if so, do you think a marathon is in your future? They are addicted, he says.
Oh. Ooh, I got the low battery on my phone. Yep, zooming. So I don't know if a marathon's in the future. That's kind of gnarly. But I am still running. I took like a little kind of break from running at the beginning of this whole quarantine thing, but got back into it. So yeah, lately I've been waking up early. I woke up early this morning, and I did like a couple miles on a treadmill. I have a little gym where I live. So I went into the treadmill, went into the sauna. But yeah, I'm pushing it back up, and I'm hoping that the trail running circuit opens back up in Southern California soon, and I'm immediately going to sign myself up for some trail running races. And I mean, a marathon I guess is possible, but I'm not even looking that far ahead yet, because I've only done a few races. I think the farthest I've run is like 6 miles, so I got a long way to go with all that. But running's the best, and I'm ready to start pushing myself. So who knows? I'll keep you posted.
Boom. And Patrick Lynch also wants to know, do you take your golf clubs on the road with you? Yeah, I do, if it makes sense. When I look at, obviously, like on a winter tour, sometimes I won't, if I just know we're going to be in rain and snow and freezing most of the time. But I look at the schedule too. Like if I have enough days, if the tour's long enough and there's enough days off and stuff, yes, I'll bring them. But if it's like a 2-week run and there's only 3 days off, and I look, and I don't know, maybe I won't. But for the most part, yes, I do bring my clubs on the road with me. And I've actually got to play quite a few really awesome courses while traveling around. So that is cool.
The cool thing is, like the summer venues, God, it's like it felt like almost every 4th show at the most, there'd be some sort of golf feature backstage. Like,
and that's
hey, there's a huge...
thing.
Yeah, it's like there's a huge pond, and we've put a couple driving pads, and here we have golf clubs and balls, and you just get to launch into. It's pretty awesome, the backstages with the golf shit.
It's really, really freaking cool. Kristen Perrin says, "Are they doing remote learning in California? Who has more patience with teaching, Duddy or Rachel?" Yeah, we are doing the remote learning. My kids are actually. I think I just heard them say they just finished. This is their first week back, so it's like half days this first week. But what they are doing, starting I think on the 26th or 28th, is 2 days a week they go into class for like a half day. But the rest of the time is just computer, which is pretty lame. But and who has more patience, me or Rachel? We're both pretty good with it. Like we're down. Our kids are really good with just kind of doing it. They kind of just knock it out, and then we'll just go over it, make sure they got it right. But we both help out for sure. Yeah. Jennifer Riley says, In-N-Out Burger or Whataburger, which one is better and why? In-N-Out for sure. I mean, I've had both many times. I've had In-N-Out way more. Whataburger's good. It's all right. It's just it's a burger, but In-N-Out's it's a better burger. It is indeed.
Yeah, I've had Whataburger a few times. That's like when you get to like Texas, you start getting that, right? Is that what I'm trying to think?
I think so.
I think about there, it starts happening.
Yeah.
Like I said, Whataburger's okay. It's more like your standard kind of burger. In-N-Out's got its own thing. I will say this about In-N-Out. I say it every time it comes up, dude. In-N-Out is good. I'm not here to say, oh, it's a piece of shit. It's not. It's a good burger. It's fine. But the way people fantasize over In-N-Out and make it out to be like it's this cultural experience. I can't tell you how many times people have visited here from another place and they're like, the first thing I want is In-N-Out. And they're like, they buy the shirt, they buy the burger, they make sure they're like, I got to have this 3 more times before I leave. I'm only here for a week. And on the last day, the last meal I want is In-N-Out. There's tales of people taking In-N-Out burgers on flights, like bags of them home to give them to people wherever they live. And I'm like, you guys.
It's not going to be good if you do that.
And plus it's like, so I always say this and people hate me. I say this, it's the most overrated burger on the planet. And people go, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not saying it sucks. It's good. But the way you've rated it, humanity, makes it the world's most overrated burger. Hot take.
Hot take. It is true because it is a great burger, but people make it out to be like, it's like a golden child.
Oh, yeah. When you bring it up, they're like, oh. And I'm like, why are you acting this way? All right.
Jason wants to know, first off, just Jason?
Jason wants to know?
Just Jason.
Oh, do you live at fucking Camp Crystal Lake?
No,
Is Freddie asking a question next?
No last name. Can you be any more vague?
Yeah.
Who's
you
this
are
guy?
a serial killer,
We need
Jason.
a background check on this Jason guy.
Sounds like someone who'd hang out with Robbie.
Yeah. Let me go pick up my boy Jason.
Hi, my name's Robbie. That's my homie Jason. We both listen to rap, but are mildly racist. Everyone figure that out.
Bobby
Seems
does
like
the
type of
raps.
guys.
Jason makes the beats.
Yeah.
Oh man, Duddy, do you still make pie sliders? Piters. Do I still make piters? That's funny. For those of you who don't know, I had a stint back where I used to make these little tiny pies, and I called them piters, pie sliders. No, I don't make them much anymore. To be honest, they take a long time to make if you make them properly, and we haven't made them. I need to get back to it. That was fun. My wife actually, she was the one who started making all of them at the end. She was insane. She made some really freaking good ones. Michael Yarno, the Yarnski. Yarnzels. Stoner question. Guys, I would hope your parents know that you smoke, but were they accepting of it, or were there something you had to like hide from them? No, my parents were pretty cool about ganj life, just being 420 friendly and whatnot, but
let me take you back to 1997. Mama, Papa Bushnell sat down a young Jake and Duddy, looked us in the eye and said, look, guys, it's a big world out there. There's lots of drugs and things that you might want to try. Here's the deal. Judgment-free zone. If you guys want to experiment, we respect and understand. We would just hope that you'd respect the law and you'd call us. If you get drunk, call us. We'll drive you. If you guys try heroin. Wait, no, they didn't say that. They said, basically, if you guys get drunk or have to try a little hay, just let us know. Be responsible. Give us a jingle. And we thought it was pretty. First of all, dude, suck question, dude. Bro, you rattled loose a fucking memory from the old attic, dude. Nicely done, dude. Oh, that memory was lodged up above an old surfboard that we had in the rack up there in the attic, dude. Sick question, dude. But yeah, they sat us down and just said, dude, be you, choose wisely, dude, and party on, bro. Our parents' names were Bill and Ted. Suck, huh, Duddy? What do you think, Dad? Mike Yarno. Mike Yarno. Here, let me tell you about my experience with Mike Yarno. I cut his hair, dude, before barbershops were illegal. So that was a whole different time back then, bro. But he told me that his parents were really chill too. And they have parties at their house and they fire off like shitloads of fireworks in like the cornfields, bro. Sick.
Oh, sick. Jake,
that's true. Mike Yarno told me that.
Bro, you just made me have a full-on thought.
Just rattle loose a thought.
Like, did you ever think there'd be a time where haircuts were illegal, but weed was legal?
No.
Well, think about it.
All right, dude. Yeah, it's suck. Question.
Let's go down to Maui Wowie.
All right, Maui Wowie.
Will you please bring Jake with you to Del Mar concert? Is this the last one? This Maui Wowie?
This is it, dude. We're going out on the Wowie.
No, there's one more after Maui Wow. Will you please bring Jake with you to Del Mar concert to sing the Monday Morning Hangover show at the end of the concert?
Oh, should we tell them, bro?
Live his glory days on stage.
Should we tell them? It's a done deal. Guess who's opening up for the Dirty Heads at Del Mar? You guessed it, the Germans.
If you want to dance with me,
morning,
all you have to do is
show.
dance.
And you want to have a party. Dance. First U.S. show. So excited, bro. Gonna be fucking ripping, bro. Is that how you say?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Dance.
See you there, Maui Wahi.
All right, we got one more.
Wait! You didn't answer my question! There's no time!
We got one more.
Sick question.
Sarah and T-Bird says, what is the sample from Earthquake Weather? I love the lady's voice. Actually, fun fact, guys, not a sample. It's the Germans. Not a sample. It's actually one of Jared's wife's aunts. It's Jared's mother-in-law's sister.
Holy shit, is this the one that said that Dave Mathews likes to shit on people?
I think so. Jared's father-in-law's sister got shit on by Dave Mathews. Apparently that's no, that's her. That's his aunt-in-law, I guess. I don't think
aunt-in-law.
Yeah, so yeah, she is the lady talking, and it's really cool. She did an awesome job.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for her to be backstage when someone's like, how do you know the band? I'm Jared's aunt-in-law.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love you on Earthquake Weather. Is that true about Dave Mathews?
So it's true. I gotta go. The song's coming up. It's Monday morning. Hang on. So we did it, right? Is that it?
That's it.
It's the moon time. That's my favorite line in the song. Dancing in the sun time. Dancing in the moon time. The moon time.
That's how you say it, right?
Yes. We were outside. Did you hear the moon is not real? I don't know. I was out in the moon time and I like to look at it often. It's Monday.
So people can see my YouTube channel of me looking oftenly at it. Okay, we gotta go.
Yeah, my phone's gonna die any minute. So yeah, dude, this was a fun show. Yeah. This was fucking great. Thank you everyone for listening. Give us a rating, whatever. Fucking pet puppies and fucking say hi to kids, I guess. Right? Yeah, fuck out of here. Bye.
Bye.